It's so awesome that you are in a place of your life that it's required for you to be blogging about Jude Law. Have you thought about that?
A little bit, yeah. It is. It's very humbling.
It's been a long road, but here we are. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know. Has it been a long road?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, that,
Totally.
not to
I'm old.
you're not old.
I'm
Oh
a
my.
little old. I'm a little old now.
Every day we're getting older. Every day we're getting wiser. Every
So
day
true.
we're just doing a bonus episode of a podcast in many ways. First, this is the first, I don't know how I'm starting or doing any of this. This has kind of been
Great.
a vibe. It's been on my mind. I said, who better to do this with but my best friend? I say right here. I tell her, I make the declaration actually today. Fran,
Awesome.
you're
No,
my
I accept
best
it.
friend.
I'm taking it. I'm taking it.
Oh my God, I'm literally so happy to have you back. It's been so long.
I'm really
Um,
happy to be here.
you've been such an important person in my life. Do you know?
That's very sweet. Likewise.
It's true. You were there for me in the hardest times. You were there for me in the most Chicago of times.
Yeah.
Then,
hmm
then the most New York of times. And then now we're in a bicoastal relationship, just like many
Yeah.
others.
Like a true Hollywood it couple.
We are kind of, and you heard it here first, sort of like the Hollywood it couple of 2026, early 2026. There's reports that, and yes, this is Fran Hoepfner. You know her, you love her. Fran Hoepfner and Rebecca Bolnes is kind of giving Hollywood it couple of 2026, Year of the Fire Horse.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
galloping towards it. Starts February
Yeah.
17th. I just talked about this on my episode with William Banks. William Banks getting the one clip I've dropped, getting the most views of all damn time. The
Wow.
people love Willie Banks. Oh
Kooky
my
guy.
freaking God. He's kooky. But we're not going to talk about that. We're here. It's a bonus episode. I wanted to actually call it extra credits. I thought that was cute, but I didn't commit. But it's kind of like extra credit.
Yeah.
Or like
hmm
we're hanging out after school because our parents are still working and we have to be at aftercare.
Yeah.
And this is where we find true friendships and have the conversations that really matter. Um,
Absolutely.
such as who are your pop culture crushes that were formative and that we have to kind of talk about. And this is what we're bringing to on a podcast today.
hmm
Now, Fran, we've had many crushes, both of us in our lives. This is part
Yeah.
of why we're simply best friends.
hmm
You know how there's like the two friends? Okay, how about the best friends?
The best friends. Yeah.
Ever heard about that one? I asked you about pop culture crush, and you told me immediately. You said you had been rewatching Lost.
Yeah. I'm in the final days of my Lost rewatch. I have 5 episodes left,
How are you
but
feeling as you're approaching the end?
sad. I'm gonna miss. Well, it's sad for two reasons. One, I'm gonna miss all my friends.
Hmm.
I at this point in my life, there's very few characters on that show that I don't like. People who on my initial watch drove me crazy, where I'm like, no, they're awesome. I don't really care
Yeah.
anymore. But I'm also sad because that final season is mostly so bad that I'm also like, look what they've done to my beautiful friends. Where like,
Go look what you've done to what's that song? My beautiful friends.
I
Look
don't
what you've
know.
done. That's what we have to say to who was responsible for that. Not to dig up stuff of Lost. How many years later is it now? Since
16.
who was responsible?
I mean, I always blame David Lindelof and Carlton Cuse because they were like the two guys, but that show had a lot of writers. Drew Goddard was in the mix, Elizabeth Sarnoff. Like, I think Lindelof has said in like the aftermath of like The Leftovers, a show I absolutely love.
I love. Perfect
That
to me.
yes, a perfect amount of episodes. But I think what he said is like trying to do what they wound up doing with The Leftovers, but with like network TV episode lengths is where they
Impossible.
just that's actually where Lost went wrong, is there's just too much of it versus like
Right. Well,
the
because how
writing
many
getting
episodes a
bad.
season was it?
It's like
like so
24 for a while and then 22,
dude.
and then the last two seasons are only 17. And
That's
those
what
feel actually better, but it's
sure.
by that point it's still too crazy.
It's so crazy to think about. Like, yeah, that was really the norm of like 20 something episodes a season. And now it's like there's 8 episodes a season of, you know,
The Leftovers is like 1.2 seasons of Lost total,
right. That's so nuts. But it
which is
also
crazy. Yeah.
it's all I mean, Leftovers definitely feels like him, like you know he learned his lessons, or like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he has a different like entryway and a different format to play with, and it's like so perfect. I am always wanting to fucking rewatch that show, but I'm also always wanting to rewatch like early Lost. Like there is
Yeah.
something so fucking rewatchable about that shit. But we're bringing Lost to the floor
Hmm.
because we have a crush to discuss. And you said I might have to talk about.
Sawyer and Josh Holloway.
And I
That is like
wonder
the
if you
ultimate
guys
hunk
were
of that show.
thinking, I mean, I wonder if you were thinking anybody else, because there are many people.
So many.
But
Sawyer, Desmond,
Desmond, of course, kind of one of the only
Saeed,
ones that, come on,
Jin.
they get everyone sexy, okay?
They get everyone. It's like
Everyone.
Survivor where they all get like hotter as they go on. That's actually one of the really funny things about season six is that they have the like flash sideways
Right.
function. And so in all the flash sideways, they all have their original bad hair. A lot of which is wigs, but you're like, ugh, like I
Yeah,
actually
like,
don't want to
no,
see Jin with short hair. Like
we've
I
moved
don't
past
show me
this.
that.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so I have to go. So when did you originally watch Lost?
When it aired in
When it aired.
2004.
Was
So I was in
Sawyer your pick?
seventh grade. No, actually, because I was such a Lord of the Rings kid, I loved Charlie and
Of
Dominic Monaghan.
course. And I mean, and he's like, I'm a sweet boy. I have a drug problem. How
Yeah,
many
yeah,
of us
yeah.
have not had a crush on this one?
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm sweet and silly goose, actually. But then you said, when we text just a little bit about this, you said on rewatch, Charlie bad.
Charlie
Charlie
sort of
kind of
drives
has some
me
moments.
nuts. Charlie has a great season one arc and like late season three arc. And then season two, they really don't know what to do with him. There's this like
Mm.
whole arc that I had forgotten about where in order to, I think, like spur on violence with the others, he wants them to like be more mad at the others. So he like fakes an attack on Sun. He hits Sun over the head.
Yes.
Sun is getting hit in the head so much in the show, way more
You
than
need
I
to
ever
stop
remembered.
doing this to her, okay?
Leave her
And to
alone.
women, okay?
I agree. But Charlie like using like political violence against a woman really was like, you know what? Actually, fuck this guy. Let's get
That's
this
actually
guy
a
out of
turn off.
here. They bring him back around somewhat successfully, and seeing him in season six is totally nice. But this
Mm.
time around, I was just like, it's all Sawyer from day one.
It's all Sawyer Town, USA for you.
And
What?
Sawyer definitely took over in my original watch too, once Charlie
Yeah,
like faded.
once he, and I mean, they sort of make it okay. So in preparation of this, I put on a 38-minute the story of Sawyer and Kate YouTube video
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
where it has like 4 different like instrumental like sad tracks playing under the whole video. And but man, it really does show you, whoo, they had twists and turns and ups and downs in the roller coaster of their damn relationship. It's so funny to watch a
It's
condensed
crazy.
version. It's like you're gonna leave? Yeah, I'm gonna leave. And it's like, don't leave. Fine, I won't leave. I'm leaving. Like there's like so much back and forth.
It's interesting to me that like uh these like Sawyer Jack Kate
Yeah.
get quite sidelined towards the end of the show. I was thinking in the
Mm,
season six rewatch, like there's actually not a ton of Jack. There's not a
yeah.
ton of Kate. There's not a ton of Sawyer. I guess I would almost rather have that than see sort of like what they do to like Saeed and Claire and stuff. But
Right.
a lot of these people that the show tries to argue are like have been the most important people the whole time, they sort of have no idea what to do with. We're like 4 episodes into like Kate and Sawyer being in like Locke's camp and being like, what do
Mm.
you think we should do? They just do this every episode. They're like, should we do something? Maybe we'll
Yeah.
do something. And it's
Yeah.
like We're
They've
just
run
waiting for the show
out.
to end.
Yeah, they've run out of like, because how many different ways can you have the like love triangle, will they, won't they, like manifest in interesting scenes? Like, like there's at some point, like what else can you, what other position can you put them in to like test if they like love each other enough or whatever? Like,
Yeah.
what do you think is drawing you towards Sawyer? Because, okay, so I mean, first of all, I guess spoilers for Lost if you've never seen Lost. Get into it. Sawyer, give us the breakdown. He's the bad boy, and he's the bad boy from the start. Okay,
He's initially the bad, but they set him up as one of the villains of the show, kind of. He's
but like
making
he's hot,
everything,
so how much
but
of a
he's
villain
hot.
can he be?
He's a Southern con artist.
Hmm.
And it's his job to kind of seduce women and steal their husband's money and then go on the lam. And
It is
he does
predicated on his
this,
hotness.
it is predicated on his hotness, and he also does this because he has trauma because this was done to his parents.
Yes.
His mother was conned, and then his father killed his mother and himself. And so he's like, I'm gonna do this, and because this is all I know in my life. And
And
they
yet,
set
and
him,
once again, generational trauma rears its ugly head. Okay.
yeah, I was reading something that's like Lost is actually about parents and children. I was like, wait a minute.
Wait
It
a minute.
is.
It's also sort of like everything is, because violence
Yeah,
is about
yeah,
intergenerational trauma. It's always there. Okay, crazy.
yeah.
Follows the police. Of course, he
Really
is a police.
nuts.
He is a police later. We hate to see this.
Yes,
We
that was a
hate to see
crazy
this.
reveal. I forgot. I had completely forgotten about that.
The camp does include Sawyer, aka James LaFleur.
James LaFleur.
That's not real.
Sawyer, like he is quite bad in the beginning though. Like he's really violent towards other
Yeah.
survivors of the crash. I think the most he does two really egregious things in those early episodes.
Let's hold
He
him
hoard
accountable right
he
here, right
hoards
now.
medicine, including Shannon's inhaler, which is really not a good
Not good.
situation.
Yeah.
Not good to enact like privatized healthcare on the island immediately.
Very
Um,
capitalist. Okay. We can live beyond this. We're on the island now. Okay. That's what I
yeah,
want people to
yeah.
realize. We're on the island right here
They
right now as
eventually
well.
get to socialism, I
Yes.
think.
Yes.
But
They try.
and then there's a crazy filler episode where I think it's he can't stop hearing a noise and they discover it's a frog. It's like the C
Yeah.
arc of an episode, but then he kills the frog, which I really
How'd you do that?
found as a child quite frightening. And as an adult, I was like, that actually feels so out of character cruel for this character who they otherwise kind of shift into being like a big sweetie who learns responsibility. And the other thing about Sawyer that I think always makes him appealing is that he's kind of an intellectual. He's the guy
Always
who's
reading.
reading books. He's
Yeah.
always reading. One of his early arcs on the show is that he discovers he needs glasses. So they do a
So
lot
cute.
of plugging and chugging different random glasses they find onto his face, and he has like taped glasses. And so he becomes kind of like a
They're like
rude
hashtag nerd.
geek.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Which do you think that rude geek falls into your your type of crushing
maybe.
does it?
He- Maybe. Well,
I mean, he's such a like he doesn't exist, or like he I'm sure he
yeah,
does,
this type
but
of
he
guy is
doesn't.
like kind of not real. But he's so like reference rich. Like he's the guy on the
Mhm.
island who was seeing movies before he was on the island. We like wound back some scene uh, where he's making fun of Bernard. Uh, and what's that? Norma Ray. He
Mhm.
calls Bernard Norma Ray because he's like been trying to organize people to make a giant SOS sign. And he's
Yes.
like, things going bad at the rock factory, Norma Ray. And we were like, that's such a funny and mean thing to say to someone, but like is assuming a kind of lived reality that none of these other characters have had before they landed on an island.
It's true. He has a lot of layers like that get slowly revealed and just like and just the yeah, he's very writerly. Like I was looking I wanted to find a video that was like lawyer or Sawyer like sexy moments or whatever, like flirts or whatever. And like some of them are very like clever. Like he's there's this one video that's like he's like to Shannon, she walks up to him, he's like, "You're standing in my light sticks." And she's like, "Light sticks? What does that mean?" He's like, "No, light, comma, sticks, like your legs." And then he does it, he turns it into something like misogynist or whatever, but he's like being clever about it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He is like, well, would you consider him a problematic fave or like
Yeah, maybe a little, but not
I'm like, there's a
not in the grand
toxicity.
scheme of that show.
I guess that's true. Are there men who are being more? Do you think Jack is more toxic than Sawyer?
Well, it's a good question. I think Sawyer relinquishes himself to change way sooner
Mm,
than Jack does. Like Jack only really starts to change in that final season.
yeah.
Or or it's like more of a slow burn, but you actually start to see the effects of Jack understanding all his life that's led up to this moment. And like, hey, I'm a Jack defender. I
Okay.
think
Go
Jack
on.
mostly does the right thing all the time.
Yeah.
But Jack is definitely like, so there are whole seasons where Sawyer is steadily improving and Jack is simply not.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Sawyer and to some extent Jin are on really similar arcs. And I wouldn't say Jin is necessarily like problematic, but Jin is like
Right.
bad husband who becomes good
Totally.
husband.
Well, this is a thing that's interesting to talk about because it's like they both definitely do things from my memory throughout the show that one could consider like, okay, yeah, that was like superfluously violent for no reason or like I think it's mostly about like their anger, right? Like they both have
Yeah.
anger issues and I do think like it's a funny interesting like trope of like the sexy bad boy. The sexy bad boy like usually does has anger issues. The sexy bad boy isn't usually only brooding in the corner. He's also
Hmm.
usually like, yeah, when he gets mad, he throws shit and whatever. And it's an interesting thing to like look at on the other side of where I am now, where like I've been in a relationship that was like definitely toxic, had those like elements that were like so not sexy when they're happening around you, you know? Um,
Hmm.
so but I also think it's like in a show like this with the characters like this, it's very honest, like it is the sort of male affliction of the like repressed childhood trauma, like thing. And I think it's powerful to show someone be held accountable for that or like
Yeah.
try to grow through it. Do you think that he has like a fully redemptive like arc,
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the season five sort of arc of him going, I mean, if you've never watched Lost, this will all be like incoherent, but like
Yeah.
sending Sawyer back in time to the 1970s and forcing him to like have a real job for 3 years. Um, I think they kind of do an
Wow, I forgot
amazing
they go
job.
there. Wow.
Yeah. He has a job for 3 years in the 1970s. And you'd think that would be like, oh, in like one jump, they've completely changed this guy's whole deal. But they do a really good job of selling the idea that this is a guy who's just like really chilled out and
Mm-hmm.
has like figured out how to exist in a world
Yeah.
um in a way that feels quite naturalistic. We have to talk about like the Kate, Jack,
Can we?
Sawyer,
Yes.
Juliette
Yes, the
quadrangle
Juliet.
because I
Yes, this. I wanted to get into this because when I was watching this video, I was also like, I haven't rewatched any of it in a while, but watching it now, I was like, okay, it's giving I'm a Juliet. Actually, it's giving maybe I'm a
oh
Juliet. Like I'm a nice girl.
she well it's I
What I'm
agree.
remembering from Juliet is she's a nice girl and she's willing to let go when she needs to. And Kate is out here making very dramatic moves, correct? Am I wrong?
Kate is the drama, but I
Kate
think
is
what
the
I had
drama.
forgotten is Juliette is like a little bitchy.
Okay, well, I guess maybe I'm a little bit of a bitch too. No, how is she bitchy? In which ways?
She's a little like playing sort of mommy type where people will be being insane and she'll be like, "Oh, okay." And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, Chica,
I think I like
she
that.
she's making me laugh a lot more this time around. I was like, she's kind
Yeah.
of funny actually. But they have this whole for the first basically like 3 seasons of the show, they have this Jack, Kate,
Hmm.
Sawyer love triangle, and then they bring Juliette in, and they do that like simultaneous to the Kate and Sawyer being locked in cages arc.
Where they
So you're
get
kind
so horny town.
they get
Oh
so horny being
my
in cages.
God.
And so then it starts, and Juliet's a doctor. So it starts to look like, okay, they're putting Kate and Sawyer, the career criminals, together at
Yeah,
last. And they're giving Jack a doctor, another doctor to have a crush on.
so
And then
true.
they wind up being like, that's actually not what we want to do. And they put Kate
Boring.
and Jack together and then Sawyer and Juliet, which should feel really random, but
I remember
they have great
liking it.
chemistry.
I remember liking it and thinking, yeah. And this is of course what I would think about myself. Like, yeah, she's good for him. She's not the drama, she's not the chaos like Kate. And I think I resent Kate a little bit because Kate is so like I mean, it's not her character. It's the way that this show shoots her svelte body on the beach. And I'm just like, she's just giving such hot girl so I can be drama. And as someone who has never identified as that, I'm like, well, I can't. I wonder when you originally watched it and when you watch it now, who are you rooting for? What dynamics are you rooting for in the love triangle?
I'm rooting for Kate and Sawyer. As
In
much
the
as I like
in the
Juliet and
beginning,
Sawyer together, yeah, the whole time,
the whole
the whole
like when
time.
you first watched it and when you watch it now.
Oh, I don't think I think when I first watched it, I was like, I'm rooting for whatever they show me happens on the show. Like
You're
I
like,
was
I'm
willing to
rooting for
kind of,
whoever gets to make out sexy and then I can watch it
yes,
next week. Yeah.
yes. This time I'm Kate and Sawyer the whole time. I'm like
Hmm. Hmm.
not really buying the Kate Jack of it all, though I do buy the Sawyer Juliet. But then I'm
Yeah.
buying Jack and Juliet. I just actually think like Evangeline Lilly and Matthew Fox don't really
Have
have
chemistry. Yeah.
amazing chemistry. Those characters are interesting to watch interact, but they don't really have like a very sexual tension.
And let's
And
talk about the sexual tension and let's talk about the cages and like when he gets beat up and then they make out all and they so slow. And that's crazy. Let's talk about it.
it's one of the craziest things to ever happen on the show. It really imprinted at me in a young-ish, I was maybe like 14 or 15.
Yeah.
There's a whole season 3 arc where the others have
Mm.
I'm doing others in air quotes for people who are just listening.
Yeah.
Because every season there's new others. I
Yeah,
had
yeah.
remembered that every single season they're like, now we got these people, and it's like,
Here they
okay.
are.
Um, but the sort of the OG others have uh Jack and Kate and Sawyer kind of held captive, and Jack is like in a cell separated from the rest of them. And then Kate and Sawyer are in these like kind of outdoor enclosures, like animal cages, basically at a
Yeah.
zoo. They used to be for the polar bears, and they're making them do like weird manual labor where they're having to like pickaxe at rocks. Like I think they're
Mhm.
building a road is kind of ultimately what they're doing, but they're
Mhm.
always making Kate wear a little dress while she does it. It's very
Yeah.
like the season 3 version of what the others are by the time the show is ending is you're like, why were they doing that? That doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. But they're always making her do stuff in a little dress, and she's always like, oh, it's so hard. And then Sawyer's always like talking back because he's so sassy and bitchy,
Yeah.
and they're always beating the shit out of him, and he really pisses off like one of the main others who basically like beats him within an inch of his life.
Crazy. That scene is
Crazy
because I
style.
just saw it again. Like that scene is crazy. And the sound effects are like, boom, boom, boom. Like, oh my God.
And Kate's like, no, I love him or whatever.
Yeah, he's like, do you love him? I love him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then like that night, he's all like busted. I think it's that
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
She like sneaks out of her cage because hashtag skinny.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
also like she could have done that the whole
The
time.
whole time. She had to wait to get
But
super horny.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We were like, she should just go.
Right.
But she sneaks into his cage and then they have sex. And then
Yeah.
it's and they like and it's raining and it's really sexy. It's like a really crazy sexy scene.
Yeah.
Um when we were getting to like the buildup of that, Phil has been. I'm watching with Phil.
And
Phil's
by
never seen it.
the way, last time Fran was on Classroom Crush, I would say she wasn't a hashtag wife, and now she's a hashtag
Now
wife.
my husband Phil and
My
I have been watching the
husband.
show.
This is
He's
his
never
first
seen it.
time. Great.
Yeah. And he has found some kind of like Reddit threads for first time viewers that don't spoil stuff for later.
Love Community.
But he was like, but sometimes they'll kind of imply stuff. And he's like, I was reading that people hate the cages. The people on Reddit really hate the cage arc. And
Mm.
this was like slightly before we got to that point. And I was like,
Well,
that's
me too.
crazy because I remember
Abolish
it
prison.
being, well, of course,
You remember being,
fucking awesome, dude. That's when
yeah,
they kissing.
that's the horniest.
And
Yes.
so I was like, well, maybe I'll find on rewatch that this storyline sucks, but as I recall watching it as a 14-year-old, this is
Good
completely
thumbs up.
awesome. And
Yeah.
I was relieved, frankly, on rewatch to be like, I actually still think this is awesome. And Phil really liked it too. He's like, I kind of don't know what they're talking about. Like, this is a fun and very stupid arc.
Yeah, and I mean, and it's as far as devices go, I mean, abolish prison, but as far as devices go, just putting them in two little cages looking at each other, because then that just leads to a lot of him just like looking at her, right? And there's so
Yeah.
much of that like sexy, because that's the thing that I think their dynamic does really well. That man, I can't remember seeing something so horny in a long time of like true like desire, like the thing, because I mean, the thing that rewatching these clips that I'm like, okay, like what is so hot about him? Like what is so alluring? And it's like, to me, he's so horny for her. Oh my God.
Yes.
He wants her
Yes.
so bad. And they're
Yeah. From like the day they crash on.
right. And why is that? There is something quite horny about someone wanting someone so, 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 so bad. And when they kiss, when they like that, it is like he is like they are devouring each other vibes. I wonder if they fucked in real life.
Well, she was dating Dominic Monaghan for a lot of that time.
What? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I guess they
So I
never
think
said.
no.
Like it
I
because it
don't
was
think
giving
Holloway was
vibes.
I don't think Holloway was married by that point, but he's such a wife guy now,
That's true.
which
He
is
is a white
obviously
guy.
so hot.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird when you look up like him and his wife, they're just like, and his Indonesian wife, like they really put Indonesian wife like everywhere. Like it's very, they're like, by the way, his wife, Indonesian.
Well, I love that there's a whole, I mean, it's probably not good, but I love that there's a whole group of them that just stayed in Hawaii. And we're like,
I
why
mean,
not?
you spend a lot that's a long time. That's a long time
Yeah.
there. Did Lost contribute positively or negatively to the economy
Hawaiian,
of Hawaii in
I think
general?
not good. I think not a good situation. Well, because they
Okay.
all kept getting DUIs, which I think is really not good.
This is what they keep doing in Hawaii is getting fucking drunk and doing too
Yeah.
much stuff. Not good, guys. Hey, if you're gonna be in Hawaii, chill. Okay, turn it
Yep.
down, chill it out.
Yep.
Okay, so what do you think it is about like him specifically? Is it that he's sexy town? Is it like what is it about the character be so like he's an intellectual. To me, it's horny that he wants her
Yes.
so bad. Do you think it's about him or do you think it's about his relationship with the other characters that is, you know what I mean?
I think he really becomes like one of the boys in a great way. He becomes like a really good team player, and
Yeah.
helping people out and making himself useful. I think he finds that like a lot of what heals his trauma is making himself useful to others and helpful to others, which is very hot. I mean, it's hot that he's funny, even if
It's
that
hot that he's
funny is like
funny.
being mean.
Yeah.
And I just think, like, comparatively speaking, like, he's got this whole trauma around the death of his parents being conned, and they, through sort of the magic of the island, make it so that they bring the con man to the island, basically, for
Yeah.
him. Well, they want, because John Locke also has a connection to this guy, so they want Locke to kill this guy, who's Locke's
Mhm.
dad. but Locke is too weak. He can't do it. So he's like, Sawyer,
You
this
must.
is, you also hate this guy. You should kill this guy. I'm not saying it's good that Sawyer kills this guy, but it sort of wipes his slate clean for the rest of the show. Like, he's
Mm,
like, oh, I actually kind of dealt with my stuff by killing the one guy I hate so bad that now I can become normal. So I think his willingness to like deal with his shit, even if it involves the act of murder,
right.
really allows him to flourish.
I guess he like couldn't get on therapy like on the island, you know.
Yeah.
So he had to figure it's funny, I was talking with a crush about or someone that I've gone on dates with about obviously justice in jail.
Mm-hmm.
What can
Mm-hmm.
I say? It comes up. And like how an issue of like people with abolition is like that they're looking for a replacement to jail and like that's like a trick question type of thing where it's like okay jail isn't the thing, it's really about our understanding of justice and like our understanding of justice being right now as a society like revenge based, an eye for an eye, and ideally trying to think about like accountability outside of that. I wish that
Yeah.
Sawyer could have a way. Like if they didn't put that character on that island, you know.
Yeah.
But then I mean, but it's also sort of like how literal is any of it in the end? Maybe he just needed to kill the demon inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? I'm like, let's not kill each other, but us also only put each other in cages if they're sexy ones. Only if the cages are ones that we can slither out of to get sexual with each other.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I do remember like his softening being also what like makes him so attractive. I do think like because I'm interested in what is a healthy depiction of masculinity, what is an honest depiction of masculinity, what is helpful, what is unhelpful. You know what I mean? Where
Yeah.
like he contains all of those things, I would say, right?
Totally. When we started the show, Phil was like, this guy's so fucking annoying. Like, he's making everything so difficult for these people. And I sort of just refused to relent. I was like, this guy's actually dope and everything.
He's gonna get
He's not doing the right thing right now, but like, once
right.
he learns how to do the right thing, he becomes like the best guy in the mix.
And it's so interesting and to think about like okay, how much time do you give a character to grow and change and and allow them that space versus how much time do you do that in real life with real people? I wonder. You
Sure.
know what
But
I mean?
I think with a show like Lost, it's almost a little closer to real life because they had no idea what they were doing. Or they were
It's
sort of
true.
like
Like
grasping at
that's the
straws
thing.
to figure it out.
They didn't make him change quickly. Like they took their
No.
time. He's an
Hmm.
asshole for a while.
Yeah.
I can't tell if it's like good or bad for us to. Well, no, I mean, I think ultimately it's good. I mean, I think I root for people in general, and I root for like anyone just being better and being kinder, and like I do think someone like Juliette is such like a was such a great foil for him also, where like at least from my memory, it was uncomplicated. Like she was just kind to him. Like she was just caring of him. Like that wasn't there wasn't
Yeah.
like that much more going on between them besides like she's a good person. She sort of could see that he is not a bad person either and she like gave him the space to be cared
Yeah.
for or whatever.
And she's not indulging his bad habits, but she's not
Mm-hmm.
really like scolding him either. She's just like, I'm not dealing with what this is.
Yeah.
But it's
To me,
like so much of their relationship we just don't see. It's like we jump ahead and
it's
they're
true.
in it. And it's a testament to what the show sometimes really could pull off that mostly you're just like, okay. But I
Okay.
think also part of my like enduring affection for him is they kind of like they butcher so many of these characters by the end.
Yeah.
Like Saeed is so ruined. I think Sun and Jin get completely kind of destroyed by the show's
Yeah.
writing. But like Sawyer, they they fuck up every a little bit every now and then, but mostly consistently he like gets through the show
Yeah.
being a really kind of consistent and truthful
Right.
to that character type of guy. So it's easier to like go through that whole show and be like, "Oh, I like this guy because they're not going to do something completely psychotic with him."
Right. Right. Well, Lost being just like such a horny thing where like I've always loved apocalypse romance, like end of the world, desert, we're stranded, we are here, we only have us and this to deal with, and so therefore we must. And I sort of look around and I'm like, we are here. So actually there's
Hmm.
no more time to dilly dally and we gotta actually start to grow and change because apocalypse is now and we could be having high stakes romance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Get into those love triangles, fight for your love.
Hmm.
What is Phil's opinion of Sawyer now? What is husband's opinion?
Love,
Husband
love.
understands.
Yeah, I think we both like just about everyone on that show. I think
Yeah,
the most recent people that we really don't like is some of the like new people they bring into season 6 who are like Jacob's bodyguards,
yeah.
like
Like who are these?
Alana.
Get out of here. Who
Al
is
is that her name,
Alana?
Alana? Yeah, Alana. Yeah, she's like a random Russian lady who's in the mix. We were like, get her out of here. There's
Yeah.
the people, I think we've maybe talked about this off mic, the people at the temple, um,
Yes.
Dogen and Lennon, where we were just like, no,
Who
we're
the
not doing
hell?
this. And we
Yeah.
get to a point where we're like, but any of the like original kind of first 3 season people of like, the original castaways, good. The
Right.
tailies, good. The sort of OG set of others, great. Richard
Right.
Alpert, we love.
Sure.
Phil was really slow to liking the freighter people. He was like, what is this?
Yeah.
And I was like, I love the freighter people. Um,
They go through so
and
many worlds, man.
I know it's really completely insane.
They don't make them like that anymore, really.
No, but like, yeah, everyone is, I think really the most like controversial thing that we both agree on is that we're pro Jack because we all, so many of our friends who have also watched are like, we can't stand this guy. And I'm like, I don't
Mm.
even know how you watch the show if you don't like Jack.
No, I don't like not like Jack. I just yeah, I just yeah, I think that the chemistry between Kate and Sawyer is like so palpable that like as far as when it comes to that dynamic, it's like, come on, be real.
Yes. Two things I'll say about this. One, I think that Matthew Fox
Say that again.
is
My earpod fell out.
oh, mine fell on the sidewalk this morning and we're just going with it. Matthew Fox, I think not unlike David Boreanaz, is just a perfect television actor.
Right.
Like you see him on a TV show, you're getting a good, solid, completely unironic
True.
performance.
Yeah.
We have so few of these types of guys left.
Yeah.
Joshua Jackson is like one of them. Like
I love him.
these are just
Rest
guys
in
great
peace,
at being
Dr.
on TV.
Odyssey.
Don't get me started. They didn't
Don't
even
get
want
me
us to.
started. I wanted to be on that show.
Like they just don't even want us to have fun anymore.
They literally don't want us to have fun anymore. And you know how much I know they don't want us to have fun is they're taking Dr. Odyssey from us. I was supposed to have sex this weekend and I didn't. They don't want us to have fun. I was supposed to have sex with someone who I would actually say would be kind of a bad boy type in a way. And that is no longer happening for me. So somebody allow us to have some fun. I want to know, do you think that there is a Sawyer type of today?
In popular culture,
Yeah, like like I'm like I was trying to think of like, do we even do bad boys like this anymore?
I'm
You know?
thinking, well, I was gonna say part of what I came to realize over rewatching Lost is how easily so many of the characters from that show can get mapped onto the leftovers.
Hmm.
But the
Hmm.
leftovers never really had a Sawyer
Yeah.
um in that mix.
He's kind of like one of the last of his kind, I feel. Or like,
Yeah. I think like Jamie Lannister was kind of a Sawyer type, very similar type of arc, very similar type
mm,
of haircut of being
swoopy blonde
like,
hair.
I'm the villain, but I sort of just mellow out over the course of things and get like humbled. I'm trying to think of like other like big prestige like dramas that
Yeah.
have this, but
Well, because the thing that I think also is so unique about him is he's such a defined like character. Like he's got the drawl and like the, like like he's written, you know what I mean? But he has the classic like because what is enduring about him, I think, is the bad boy, but it's because he's sad. Which like who among us have not loved these people that are bad, but we know it's because they're sad, you know?
Yeah. I think part of it also is like a kind of lack of like regional specificity in
Mhm.
like TV and
That's true.
stuff. Like I was gonna say like Josh Holloway, talk about a real guy from Texas, but he's not from Texas.
He's not even from Texas.
Um, he's from California, so I was gonna be like, okay, it doesn't pass. But he was raised in Georgia, and I'm just like, I think we actually don't have as much geographic diversity in actors now, such that
Say it.
like characters when we have this feel kind of like phony and fake.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're played by like British people or whatever.
That's so true. We need to, and this is where it's like passing to.
Patrick Zweig is a kind of Sawyer-ish character from Challengers.
Ooh, and he is the one. He is the one
Yeah,
that's making you, because he does the, oh, that's a good comparison because they both do the like the stare, you know? Like
yeah.
I'm like when you said that, I immediately just thought of Josh O'Connor walking. By the way, I was there. I'm an extra in that scene. I'm far, far, far in the back. Where it's mostly empty and he walks into the to courts, he sits down, he eats a banana, he watches them practice, and he's just watching them, eating the banana and watching. That's very Sawyer, just kind of like from behind his book, peering, you know, watching you.
Hmm.
Ooh, it's hot. I think that, and yeah, there is something about Patrick is also Josh O'Connor as Patrick is very. I am overtly horny for you. This is something I want to talk about actually, because I've found this with like someone that I was gonna have sex with that I'm like, why am I so horny for this one person? What's the dealio? And I've talked about it on the main feed.
Sure, yeah.
Um, why am I so horny for this friend? And I do think part of it is because I know he's so horny for me too. Like there's no mystery about that. And I think there's something, yeah, I don't know. I think that activates something when someone where it's like, I don't even have to guess, like you and you are actually shamelessly horny for me. He is shamelessly horny for her throughout. Like, sort
Yeah.
he's like, it's like the not taking no for an answer, but like not in a rapey way, I guess, because you are
Hmm.
because there's flirting. It's flirting, you know.
Yeah. He's
Do you
not a
think
guy
that's
who's
what
like
it is?
changing his mind in his affection. He's like, I'll be here.
I do think there's something attractive about that, like certainness.
I just think he's like, I always also liked all the characters on that show who are like, sort of like, yeah, we live on an island now. Like, we're sort of not working overtime to
Exactly.
get off the island. The people who are gardening, who are building buildings, who are doing
Yes.
infrastructure, even his like sort of library reading setup, I'm like, you sort of understand what's happening to you. It's a kind of awareness that is
Yeah.
kind of sexy and a willingness to like relinquish yourself to whatever happens, which is kind of like the internal fight of the show.
Yeah, and it's also just like it so just goes to his character of like I can just deal with this. I can deal with whatever. Or like it's something that I relate to and I also I think it can see in other people where it's like once you just go through enough shitty shit, you're like, I can just deal. It's not even
Hmm.
worth it for me to stress about this lot that I have been given here. Like, now, how do I just like hustle and deal with it and get through it? And I think you're right. There's something very attractive about that because there's something so unattractive about like someone wallowing in their situation or like trying to, or like doing anything but just facing it, you know, which is actually I think the danger that many codependent like traumatized people that trap that they can get into is there's another version of Sawyer and this is the version that I've probably encountered in real life, which is like of fucking course this would happen to me. Of course, I had this horrible childhood. Then, of course, I'm gonna get in this plane accident, and now the universe hates me, of course, and now I'm just going to do nothing to make my life any better. And that is ugly. That is not
Yeah,
sexy,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
No. Here's sort of, I'll be curious to see if this is how I read it when I rewatch the finale. But I remember when watching it in real time because it's like Kate and Sawyer do get off the island in the end. They're
Right.
on that little plane that
The plane.
leaves. And I remember at the time just being like, even though we've had like a big love confession scene between Kate and Jack, I
Mhm.
remember being like, I think they're gonna try to give it a go now for real. I remember being like, I think this show kind of has its cake and eats it too with this like love square where like,
Yeah.
it's Jack and Kate and Juliette and Sawyer in the Flash Sideways, but in the actual reality, in the text of the lived reality of the show, it is Sawyer and Kate kind of who get to go together. I could find that maybe they're just like, yeah, these two people are just escaping and that's that. But I recall it being a little bit like, okay, well, maybe these two will try it out now and see what happens, but could be very wrong.
It does seem like they continue to be. I feel like of any of the characters from my memory, it's like they have the most, and this is like kind of what I was joking about, like with that video I watched, but they have the most times had to like let each other go and sort of like be like, or like Sawyer, especially, I think, has like his feelings probably have never, his feelings have always been there. But
Yeah.
he's had to deal with very, like, all of the circumstances changing, her with Jack, whatever. And he's had to do the thing of like, if I love it, I must let it go. And if it's right, it will return to me. And I do think that's kind of their story, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I also like, I never fully get the sense that like Jack super like respects Kate. I don't know.
I
I
think
think he's
it's
like
true.
Kate
I
is
think that's a true
Kate is a
point.
liability that I have to take responsibility for versus like I respect sort of her kind of wily ingenuity. Whereas I think like Sawyer actually does see her as a peer. I mean, she's really annoying, but that's
Yeah.
not a reason not to respect her. That's a trick actually.
It's true. They're both hustlers, and if you can't respect
Yeah.
that, then yeah, that's then they can see each other on that level where Jack just isn't. Jack hasn't had to live that type of life, and there is something to that. There's something to when you see like, okay, we've both been in like up against the wall. We've both been like painted into a corner before and have had to be crafty and figure our way out.
Hmm.
I love it. It's making me want to re-watch this shit.
I mean, it's a
Honestly,
great show.
so good.
It's taken us over a year to get through it, but that's just because other stuff comes up. I want to rewatch Leftovers as well, but
Me
Leftovers
too.
is definitely, even the fun seasons of The
The fun
Leftovers
seasons are still heavy.
are
Yeah,
still really heavy. It's just a great show.
yeah. Thank
I
you,
was trying to
Lindelof, for these
thank
gifts.
you. Do you think The Leftovers is a crazier show than Lost? I've been thinking a lot about this.
That's a great question. I think that it has the potential to make people crazier almost in a different way, where it's like there are unanswered things about the leftovers that I think, as I don't know, I think bothers a certain type of person so much to like not get
Yeah.
the answer to. And there's such like, I don't know, he plays with so many different things in that show. I don't know if it's crazier. It feels
Well,
it's
I think about, I mean, season six of Lost is like not really a real thing that
That's the thing,
we
like
should
like
talk about like
most.
it's real. But like I'd totally forgotten there's like a whole thing where Sun hits her head and forgets how to speak English. And I was like, that's not some shit they would pull on The Leftovers. But The Leftovers has like the insane shit with like Wayne in the first season. The
Exactly, Wayne
Leftovers
is the
almost
first
kind of like
season.
front loads the Sun
Yeah.
getting hit in the head style stuff and then becomes like kind of increasingly normal.
That's, I think, and you know what? And I think
But
that
maybe,
that is when you said that, it immediately made me think about just like literally us right here, right now, where it's like even almost like 2020 as a breaking point of like we got front loaded with crazy stuff. and then it got more like it sort of sets you up to create a new normal though. Like
Yeah, yeah,
then
yeah.
and then what is normal to you now is like, why would that have ever been normal before? But when you start things off, when you start the season off with like Wayne crazy stuff, you're like, well, this is
I
where
think
we
it
are now.
helps to see all 6 seasons of Lost so that when it gets to the point in The Leftovers where you're like, Justin Theroux has to push a child into a well, you're like, of course he
uh
does.
Really good stuff. Really good
Hmm.
stuff. We should talk about that. I wonder if anyone is having formative, like, I'm sure people are having formative sexual crushes on Justin Theroux in Leftovers.
In Leftovers, definitely. I'm sort of, have you seen what he looks like lately? Said body positively, of course, but he's gone a little filler crazy. He looks really
I
insane.
know. I
And
know.
I'm
I
like,
actually had a very classic moment at my last barista job where one of my regulars, Sammy Rockwell was one of my regulars, and one time he came in with Justin Theroux, and I go and I call their food out, and they both look over their shoulder at me and smile, like, and the way that was Charlie's Angels 1 and Charlie's Angels 2, the most
oh yeah,
sexual, those were sexual formative crushes for me. Sammy Rock with the sunglasses dancing.
of
Okay.
course.
Justin Theroux doing the most insane Irish, I'll put it in air quotes, accent of all time. And Charlie's
Hmm.
Angels 2 Full Throttle. That was an incredible moment for me personally. Um, I do wish we would all put the needles down. Let's put those needles down, folks. You know who don't got none of that? Sawyer. Sawyer. I mean, he looks
Uh,
good. He looks exactly the same right now. But
he
when
looks a
he
little
was
crazy,
Sawyer, when
but
he was Sawyer, I'm just saying, in this time of TV,
yes.
no one's faces looked like that. Everybody looked good
I
in
do think it's
Law.
so funny that Josh Holloway's pick on Instagram is Sawyer. It's like that picture is fully 20 years old, but that's fine.
That's hilarious. I mean, it's something for him to he knows what he's known for, not
Yeah,
Duster, which is his latest novel.
I know. I know. Some people I know who watched Duster who didn't really like it have
Mm.
in the months that have passed been like, maybe Duster wasn't so bad. Really doing like cope about Duster. Like,
Everybody's just
maybe
trying to hold on
Duster
to
was fine.
something. Yeah, maybe it
Yeah.
was. Okay, the big question is loving Sawyer propaganda. Is Sawyer propaganda? We have to understand. We have to
No,
decide.
because
Sawyer's
I
not
liked him before
propaganda.
he was a cop.
That's true.
And
That's
and
true.
that is like so truly
Why did they make
random.
him that? Because in TV they're like there's three jobs. Well, it was to put them together as murderer and cop, right? Like have that
Yeah, it was
funny
to do
moment.
sexy,
Ha ha
sexy
ha.
style.
Sexy style.
But like Justin is loving Justin Theroux in The Leftovers propaganda.
So
He's a
true.
bad
I
cop.
hate that. I forget that every time that he is, but then
Sheriff agenda.
I'm like, guys, it's over. Why sheriff? Why not just community member number one, two, three, four, five, six?
Yeah. I yeah.
Everything else about there's so much about that show that is so interesting as far as like because of where they place it, where it's like it's relatable. It's you could see it as your world. And just as we descend into more and more madness, I'm just like, what creative things can we take from and what can we leave? And what can we leave? Okay. You can be a
Yeah.
horse and you don't have to be sheriff, you know? But
Yeah. But I
he does
think
a crazy mohawk, so you know he's different.
yeah. Well, there's a weird they always have cops in their shows, but they always have kind of like
Mm.
weird cops because Regina King is a cop in Watchmen also, right? There's some kind of
Right.
cop
Yeah.
arc. But I don't think any of their cops are ever like noble cops. Like
Right. I mean, this is my big
even
conversation is if it
yeah, like
matters.
even Sawyer and Miles, like cop duo,
Hmm.
they're like they're not amazing. You're not like necessarily rooting for them as cops. We were really do you know about Disco Elysium?
Wait, what?
Do you know what that is? Disco Elysium. It's a video game where
No.
you play a kind of washed up, hungover cop and you have a partner who's Japanese, who's always
Okay.
being like, "We got to get it together." And when they cut to like Sawyer and Miles as cops, we were like, "Why are they doing Disco Elysium?" Especially when Miles is like, "You got to behave yourself," and we were like, "This is like the exact dynamic of this
That's
game,"
funny.
but
There's definitely a
many years
trope.
before the game came out. I know you're not a gamer. You would be very
Yeah.
compelled, I think, by the politics of that game because you can like play.
I'm interested in the politics of any representation of like law enforcement on in media. I'm not,
Like you can play that game as an anarchist cop. You can play it as like socialism hating cops. Like it
interesting, but it's
allows you to
antithetical
create.
to me. But it doesn't exist. I don't know if those things can exist at the
Well,
same time
you're just solving a
when you're
mystery,
creating
but
them.
you can do it sort of
Right.
sans the operation of police.
Well, this is the thing. Everybody like I think that what people love about like the cop show or the cop whatever is just like we like to solve a mysteries solving, you know. I'm just like make them all journalists.
Hmm.
My solution is make them all journalists. No, I don't have the answer on if Sawyer is or if any of it is propaganda, except my general stance is that is probably is even when they're not good or noble or they're whatever bad, it's like a little bit still yes. I don't
Yeah.
and I don't know what to do about it. Now, that's why I'm just like, okay, let's get rid of the ones that are overt at least
Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
start.
I think all those like network shows are way more egregious
Yes.
and the like greater like the Dick Wolf universe
The
or
Dick Wolf
whatever.
universe is really a treacherous thing. I mean,
Or
it
all
does
the
beg the
various
question
like
is
pro
like,
CIA things.
yeah, I mean everything. I mean it's kind of everywhere you look, you throw a rock and there's something bad. But also, I'm just like, let's challenge the creativity of like, there's more than three jobs. There's lawyer, doctor,
Yeah.
cop. There's actually more than that. There's more things,
Yeah.
or
You think
even
every TV
imagine.
show should be the paper. Peacock's the paper.
Peacock's the case, which I am a fan of, but also I'm like,
I like it.
it's great. I think it's random.
Although
Are we gonna say the same
that
thing?
show kind of has a propaganda angle as well.
Exactly. Are you gonna say this about she's a veteran, right? Like
Yeah, sort of the
random.
most random thing in that show.
And it's
They're like,
that
and
is
this
the sort
girl
of
from
thing that's
Afghanistan who fought in Afghanistan. It's like, she did?
there's
Doing
no,
what?
and that is the sort of thing that is so egregiously for what that it feels like it is propaganda. Like there's no
Yes,
other
yes,
reason
yes,
for
yes,
her to
yes,
be that.
yes.
And it's an issue I have because I'm like, I like everything else about that show. I love Eric Rahill on that show. I think he is killing it.
Oh, he's
Steven
amazing.
Spieler, Chicago's own. And yeah, and it's the one thing that I'm like, why? And the answer is because of it's all corporations. It's all, I mean, I was talking to my dad about this yesterday about how I just simply don't want to do any commercials anymore. Like I'm not even going to audition
Mm,
because all I have to do is one search to find out why I don't want to do it. Like there's an audition for Dr. Squatch, or Quatch, the like soap and deodorant brand, and they're looking for a fucking sexy Latina. I said that could be me. I said I know I'm not doing commercials anymore, but let's just look it up. How bad could this deodorant be? I Google who owns Dr. Quatch, Unilever, who are the ones who
yeah,
own Ben and Jerry's. I saw a Kohl's thing. I said, who owns Kohl's? BlackRock. Like you can't, and someone can, and they can, and I'm not even judging them, but it's just not going to be me. I just don't want to be the face of that. And until we break up the big companies, there's always going to be this weird line of propaganda. It's so strange. It is strange. Someone needs to talk about it. And that's where we're here on this bonus episode. I did want to share this one clip that I was when I was looking for this is do you see it?
yep, 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 yep.
This is basically just one little clip short that I really enjoyed. That I This is Sawyer flirts with Kate, Lost season 3, episode 2. Here she is chopping.
Having fun yet, Freckles?
It's staring at my ass.
Give me something else to stare at. Hey! Shut up!
Shut up.
Hey, shut up.
Quit staring at my ass. Give me something else to stare at. Hey, shut up.
Shut up.
So awesome. Do you have anything else you want to say about Sawyer before we wrap things up?
I just want to say, give Lost a chance. That I think a
Yeah.
lot of people are Lost haters because they watched it really young and they gave up halfway through. Like,
Yeah.
It is so much better than so much that's currently airing, even at its worst.
Yeah.
And it introduces you to so many fun actors who pop up in everything all the time.
True.
It's crazy. Like once your eyes know, there are Nestor Carbonells everywhere for those with eyes to see. But it's really crazy. But it's just, I just think it's a great show. And I sort of defend it as stupid as it gets because I really like the Lindelof mindset and how it is secretly about like love and parents and children and faith and like
Yeah.
it's the show that raised me, but like it's just
100%.
good stuff. And I think aspects of it have aged like quite shockingly well, including some of the politics of it. I think it has like quite
Mm.
radical politics on like the Iraq War for a while, and then it sort of goes in a crazy direction with it.
Yeah, yeah.
But that it's kind of like Saeed Innocent is
Saeed
hype.
innocent, 100%. That is
Yeah.
kind of huge. No, I mean, I think I do think generational trauma and love and parentage is ultimately the key to all of our answers or all of our questions about um justice and community and how we get through all of it. And what is more romantic than growing and being horny for someone else that you are stuck with? But then
Yeah.
even when you're not stuck with them, maybe the love is actually bringing you together again.
Hmm.
Wow.
That's beautifully put.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me back. It's been a delight to do this. I
Thank
haven't done a podcast
you.
in a little minute.
That's so crazy. And you're there in the forest, and we forgot to mention I'm being tropical. You're in the forest. We're both thematically, visually, um, we're lost. Um, Fran, you've been popping off online. What would you like to plug? You're finally on cam. Fran on cam. You want to plug
Yeah.
more Fran on cam?
Yeah, I'm doing Cinematrix videos for Vulture and they're a lot of fun. So if you want to
Cool.
follow the Cinematrix Instagram account, I'm sure the people I work for would be very happy about that. And yeah, I write for Vulture, but so do a lot of other really smart, funny people who I have a really fun time reading every day. So
Amazing.
yeah, I would like to plug all those things. And yeah, I think that's it.
Do you think that you will come across Josh Holloway in your time? We need him
Oh
to do
God,
stuff.
I would love to. I would
No.
happily do it. I think more
He
celebrities
is
should feel brave
one.
enough to do Cinematrix is what I will say about that. Is a lot of them think that they are not smart enough to do it, but they are.
Okay, Josh, you heard it here first. Come on,
You're smart.
nerd.
You're smart.
You're
I would love
so
to talk to
smart.
Josh.
Oh my God, you're so smart. And he's low key. Okay.
Yeah,
Duster, was it canceled? I think it was. He's got
I
time.
think so. Yeah.
Let's get Josh back on our screens and let's get Josh talking to Fran. Let's get Josh playing. Play, maybe he could play a journalist. Okay. And he's actually not a
Oh
veteran of
yeah.
war. Think about that. Who knows? Journalists can look like Josh Holloway too. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Hmm.
I think that's all. You should follow Classroom Crush on YouTube and on Instagram and on TikTok. I have one now. It's scary. I don't like it. And also Patreon. Okay.
Ooh.
Woo!
Woo.
Bye.